You are not a victim of circumstances. You are not at the mercy of the world outside of you. The world outside is only a shadow, a reflection of the world within. Any ask, can I manifest a home, love, health, and wealth all at once? And the answer is not only yes, it is how creation was always meant to work. You are not meant to manifest one thing at a time, like someone begging from a reluctant universe. No, you are the dreamer in the dream, and the dream responds to your command. To manifest many things at once, you must begin where all things begin, in your imagination. See yourself already living in the end, not just one end, but all ends. You are not limited to one room in a mansion, you own the entire estate. Walk through every room, feel the warmth of love, the freedom of abundance, the radiance of perfect health, the peace of purpose. You do not need to worry about how, you do not need to see the staircase. You only need to stand in the feeling of fulfilled desire, and stand there, not once, but every time. Doubt not. Desires are not separate, they are threads in the same divine fabric. When you change the pattern within, the whole fabric reflects that new image. One consciousness, one state, many blessings. Your job is not to hustle, force, or chase. Your job is to accept that all things are already yours. The version of you who has it all already exists. The more you identify with that version, the more the outer world must conform. Let go of the need to obsess. Let go of timing. Plant the seed of fulfilled desire in the garden of your imagination, and then let the invisible forces water it with faith. Hold the vision, feel it real, rest in knowing, because when you do, all things will come at once, not by effort, not by chance, but because you believed and refused to let go. All that you see, all that you touch, all that you experience in this world is not the cause, it is the effect. The true cause lies in a realm the physical senses cannot grasp. It is not in the movement of the world, nor in the actions of others, nor in chance or fate. The cause lies in the unseen world of imagination. What you imagine, you give life to. What you feel as real, you call into being. The imagination is not a child's plaything. It is not idle daydreaming. It is the sacred power of creation itself. If you wish to manifest multiple things at once, begin by understanding this. Everything you desire already exists in the invisible. It is already formed, already whole, already yours, waiting only for your recognition. The imagination is not a place to escape to. It is the place you create from. It is the seedbed of your reality. Just as a tree once lived as a seed, your future lives within your inner vision. You do not manifest by trying harder. You manifest by accepting that what you hold in mind with faith and feeling must come to pass. The outer world is but a mirror. If the reflection displeases you, you do not reach out and try to adjust the mirror. You go inward and change the image within. The same is true for your desires. The same is true for your desires. To manifest many things at once, you must stop believing that each desire is separate, each goal needing its own time, its own process. That is the illusion. Time itself is a creation within imagination. What you call waiting is often just not yet believed. So you wait for something that is already yours, already done, already real. If only you would dwell in its feeling, the imagination holds no limits. It does not struggle to hold 5 visions instead of one. You can be loved, wealthy, joyful, healthy, peaceful, all in one breath, all in one moment, because all these things are merely expressions of a single truth. The state you occupy, you are not trying to get these things. You are simply becoming the person who has them. You don't chase, you assume. You don't beg, you embody. You don't hope, You imagine is to be reborn. When you see yourself in your mind's eye with a clear and joyful knowing that what you see is true, you set creation in motion. Most people abandon their imaginal acts too soon. They plant the seed and then dig it up the next day, asking why nothing has grown. But when you trust in the unseen, when you hold the vision and feed it to be real, you allow the seed to take root, and you begin to live from the end, not toward it. There is no power outside of you creating your life. The power is within, and it is governed by what you accept as true. You can change your life by changing your assumption. You can manifest multiple things not by doing more, but by imagining more completely. You do not need more effort. You need more surrender, more belief, more in a certainty that your imagination is not lying to you. It is showing you what already is. Live now as if it was so. See yourself already there. Do not visit that vision. Dwell in it. Let it be your resting place, your home. Feel the ease of already having. Walk, speak, think, and breathe as the one who has received. To live from the end is to occupy the state of fulfillment. It is not a mental exercise of wishing or hoping. It is a conscious decision to dwell in the assumption that what you desire is already done. When you attempt to manifest, most often you think in terms of someday. You visualize one goal, maybe two, and then wonder whether you are asking for too much. You measure desires against what seems realistic, what seems possible, and in doing so you cut yourself off from the infinite. But the truth is this: you are not meant to live in fragments. You are not meant to treat your desires like rations handed out by a reluctant universe. You are allowed, no, invited, to assume all things are already yours. To live from the end simultaneously means you no longer pick and choose which dream to believe in today. You no longer delay one so another might come. You stand at the finish line of all of them now. You walk through your day not as the person hoping for change, but as the one who already received it. Your love life, your finances, your purpose, see them not as separate destinations, but as one complete state of being. This is the key to manifestation, the unified self. The version of you that already exists in imagination where all desires fulfilled is not juggling dreams, it's simply being. And you can step into that version now. You do not manifest by effort, you manifest by identity. Who are you in the unseen? Who are you when no one is watching? If you are waiting for something to change so you can feel fulfilled, you are postponing the miracle. But if you feel fulfilled first, reality bends to match that internal state. There is no conflict in imagining many things at once, because fulfillment is a singular vibration. When you feel whole, you draw all things unto yourself. Do not say, I must first fix my money before I attract love. That is a lie born of limitation. The truth is, your external world is a projection of the inner state you dwell in. When you step into the consciousness of already being loved, supported, abundant, healed, and free, the outer world will echo that belief in ways you could never predict. You do not have to fix the outer world. You do not need to manipulate people, stress over timing, or fight to prove your worth. You simply move into the state of the one who already has. You close your eyes and ask, what does it feel like to already be this version of me? And then you become it, not temporarily, not on weekends, but fully. It may feel strange at first. The old state may try to pull you back. But if you persist, your new state will become your new identity. And from that identity, all manifestations will spring. This is not about faking. It is about remembering the version of you that already holds the fulfilled desire exists now in the invisible. You are not creating it. You are selecting it. You are choosing which state to dwell in. And from that dwelling, life must respond. Walk in the state. Mentally imagine from it. Emotionally, feel it as real. Spiritually, trust it with unwavering faith. Let your thoughts, words, and actions align with it. Let your inner conversations echo the truth of it. Let your reactions reflect the knowing of it. And move forward. Time, as you experience it, is a construct of the mind, an agreement, a pattern, a rhythm your senses have been conditioned to accept. But the truth is far more liberating. Time is flexible. Time is malleable. Time is illusion. What you call later or someday is merely a version of now that you have not yet embodied. It is not distant, separate. It is simply a potential that you have yet to accept as real. Everything you desire already exists. not in the future, not far off, but here, now. In the invisible, you do not wait for it to arrive. You awaken to it by belief. When you say, I'll be happy when I achieve this, you push the experience into a future that will never come, because your assumption is rooted in delay. You are postponing your blessing by making it conditional. But the secret is this: there is only ever now. And if you do not feel it now, you cannot experience it later. The mind says, I need time to get there. The truth says, there is nowhere to get. You are already it. You collapse time by assuming the result is done. You fold the future into the present by living from the end. And in doing so, you bypass the struggle, the delay, the need to earn it. You step into the vibration where it already is, and reality must conform. This is not imagination for the sake of fantasy. This is spiritual law. The outer world bends to the inner conviction. If you assume something will happen one day, you place it forever on the horizon. But if you assume it is now, and feel from that state, then it moves into your world without effort. Not because you forced it, but because you claimed it. Let's say you want healing. If you see healing as a process that must take time, then your body will reflect that belief. But if you move into the consciousness of already being whole, already being well, and hold that state without wavering, then healing can happen in what seems like an instant, because time is only the servant of belief. Or perhaps you desire wealth. You think it must take years of saving, working, or proving yourself. But that is the belief you've accepted, and so it becomes true for you. The moment you accept that abundance can arrive now, that opportunities can appear instantly, that your life can transform in a moment, you give permission for the miraculous. You are not building these things from scratch. You are tuning yourself into the frequency of what is already done. Think of your desires like radio stations. Each has its own frequency. You don't create the music, you tune in. You don't have to make the abundance appear. You align yourself with the version of you who already lives it. And how do you do that? By feeling, by assuming, by persistently occupying the state of the wish fulfilled. When the doubts come, and they will, return to the end. Close your eyes, inhale, see it done. Feel the outcome so deeply it becomes more real than the current moment. Walk through the scene of the end again, until you no longer desire it. You simply expect it. You know it. You feel it with such certainty that your current world begins to fade in importance. This is not madness. This is power. The world changes when you do. Life moves in response to your inner conviction. So do not dabble in your desires. Do not treat them as guests. Welcome them as your reality. Wake up each day as the version of you who has already arrived. Go to bed each night in gratitude for the life that's already yours in the invisible. And as you remain faithful to that inner world, the outer world has no choice but to reflect it, all of it at once. Every outcome you seek is tied not to luck or external effort, but to a state of consciousness. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. Each desire you hold, whether it is for love, wealth, health, or success, is not a thing to be chased, but a state of being to be entered. And the moment you occupy that state fully, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the outer world begins to shift. Not through struggle, but through reflection. States create outcomes. This is the law. A state is a mood, a mindset, a feeling tone. It is the invisible cloak you wear, often without realizing it. And that cloak determines the way life responds to you. You may say, I want to be wealthy. But if the state you habitually live in is one of lack, fear, or doubt, then wealth cannot reach you, not because you are undeserving, but because the door is closed from the inside. You must become the version of yourself who already possesses what you seek. That becoming does not require years. It requires decision. Let's say you desire love. The state of being loved is not found in another person. It is found in how you feel about yourself right now. You must embody the feeling of being cherished, seen, respected. And if you can do that inwardly, consistently, without needing the external validation to prove it, the world will rise to confirm your belief. The partner shows up. The connection deepens. The love appears not as something new, but as a reflection of the state you chose. Or maybe you seek abundance. The wealthy version of you does not constantly check the balance or worry about bills. They move with ease. They feel supported by life. They expect good things. To embody that state is to begin thinking, speaking, and behaving as if abundance is natural to you, not pretending, not lying, but aligning, deliberately stepping into the state of financial ease before any physical evidence exists. Why is this so powerful? Because consciousness is the only reality. What you are conscious of being, what you identify with, is what shapes your world. There are infinite states available to you at all times. You can move from powerlessness to power, from brokenness to healing, from lack to overflow, simply by changing the state you dwell in. The moment you shift your inner atmosphere, everything around you begins to reorganize to match it. Then you collapse the distance between desire and manifestation. You no longer wait. You welcome. You no longer hope. You no longer prepare. You receive. And as you persist in this new awareness, the illusion of time dissolves. What once seemed far off begins to unfold in your present. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You no longer live in the future. You live in the fulfilled. And in that place, all things are possible, and all things are now. The outer world is not separate from the inner. It is its mirror. And when your inner world is in harmony, free of contradiction and resistance, the external must reflect that harmony back to you. You are not required to juggle your desires, balance them, or sort them out in order of importance. You only need to align with them. For when your heart and mind are settled, steady, unified, and sure you can hold multiple fulfilled desires in a single consciousness, and reality will conform. Most people believe they must focus on one thing at a time, as though desire is a task list, and manifestation is a process of sequential order. But that belief itself creates limitation. In truth, the universe does not operate in lack, and neither should you. It is not overwhelmed by your desires. It does not need you to pick one thing and abandon the rest. What it requires is your wholeness, your certainty, your unwavering faith in the unseen. You can only hold what you are at peace with. So if you are divided within, if part of you believes and part of you doubts, then you weaken the current that brings your desires into form. That is why inner harmony is the key. It is not about intensity or repetition. It is about unity. When your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs agree without inner war, without contradiction, then manifestation becomes effortless. Can you imagine a version of yourself who already has it all? The loving relationship, the financial abundance, the radiant health, the creative success. That version of you exists now not as fantasy, but as potential. And you access that version not by working harder or waiting longer, but by assuming the inner attitude of already being that person, not a future self, a present self accepted. Imagine a peaceful lake. On the surface, you may see ripples moving in different directions, but the depth of the water is still unmoved, unified. That is your consciousness when you are aligned. The ripples, your desires can all exist as long as the depth, the belief is steady. Do not allow worry to break that stillness. Do not let doubt enter through the cracks. When you feel yourself slipping into fear, come back to center. Remind yourself, it is already mine, not because you forced it, but because you believed it. This is the kind of calm certainty that creates multiple outcomes at once. Harmony does not mean you must never feel doubt. It means you no longer dwell in it. You observe it, acknowledge it, and choose belief instead. You choose faith over fear. You choose alignment over resistance. And in doing so, you become a vessel that can carry many blessings without strain. This is the secret. You are not manifesting desires individually, you are manifesting a state where all those desires already exist as facts. Live from that state, and the multiplicity takes care of itself. Just as one seed contains the pattern for many fruits, one assumption that it is done contains the energy for many manifestations. So cultivate inner harmony, guard it, nourish it, keep it sacred. And you will discover that the more peaceful your inner world becomes, the more abundant your outer world grows. Not by effort, not by struggle, but by natural law. As within, so without. There is a sacred rhythm to creation that cannot be hurried, nor can it be forced. To manifest with power, you must learn to persist, not with frantic energy or obsession, but with quiet loyalty to the unseen. To persist is not to chase, and is certainly not to beg. It is to remain faithful to what you have already claimed as yours, even when the outer world gives you no sign. It is to walk in certainty while others wait for evidence. This is the heart of true manifestation, inner consistency without outer dependence. You do not need to repeat your desire like a chant in fear that the universe has forgotten you. You do not need to look for signs in every corner, hoping that something has shifted. You only need to keep your inner world stable, anchored in the knowing that what you have imagined is already a reality, not in the future, but in the present unseen. The desperate mind looks for proof. The faithful mind knows, and what you know internally must be expressed externally, for the outer is always the shadow of the inner. If you constantly dig up the seed to see if it has taken root, you kill the very life you planted. But if you trust, if you water it with belief and nurture it with peace, then it must grow. It has no choice. That is law. Let your vision be clear, but let your spirit be at ease. There is no need to obsess. Obsession comes from fear, the fear that it might not happen, that you must do more, try harder, watch closer. But manifestation is not born from fear. It is born from rest. It is born from the calm assurance that once imagined, once felt, the thing is set in motion. A bridge of incidents begins to form, whether you can see it or not. Doors begin to open, people are moved, events are reshuffled, and all of it is guided by your inner state. You are not required to build the bridge. You are only required to cross it when it appears. And it will appear unmistakably when you are in the right place inwardly. If you are restless, anxious, or constantly needing reassurance, then you delay what is already yours. But when you feel it real, and you remain there, not for a moment, but as a new identity, then the world bends, it cannot help it. Reality is obedient to the one who believes. This is not laziness, this is spiritual precision. To rest in faith is not to give up effort, but to direct effort where it matters most within. Every time you return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you give life to it again, you feed it, you energize it. But once fed, once felt, let it go, trust it is done. Think of it like sending a letter. Once mailed, you do not follow the postman to ensure it is delivered. You trust the system. The same is true here. Once your desire is impressed upon your subconscious, once your inner world is saturated with the knowing that it is yours, trust the system of life to deliver it. You may not know how it will happen, you do not need to. The how is never your concern. Your work is to know what and feel as if. From that, the rest follows. So persist, but persist gently. Persist with joy. Persist as one who already has, not one who still lacks. Let your inner dialogue reflect fulfillment. Let your emotions speak of peace. Let your imagination remain loyal, undisturbed by the senses. You're not waiting for the world is waiting for you to be steady, unwavering, complete. And when you are, what you seek must appear, not because you demanded it, but because you became it. As we embark on this journey together, I ask you to open your minds and hearts to the infinite possibilities that surround us at every moment. For in truth, the universe is not some distant, abstract concept, but the very essence of our being, the source from which all things flow. Imagine, if you will, that you are standing on the shore of a vast ocean. The waves crash against the sand, each one unique, yet part of the greater whole. This ocean, my dear friends, is the universe's infinite, powerful, and ever-present universe. And you are not separate from this ocean, but a vital part of it. You are, in essence, a drop of water that contains within it the entire ocean. Now let us delve deeper into this concept of trusting the universe. Many of you may have been taught to strive, to struggle, to fight against the currents of life. But I say to you, this struggle is unnecessary, for when you truly understand your place in the grand tapestry of existence, you will see that the universe is not something to be conquered, but a loving, abundant force that is always working in your favor. Consider for a moment the natural world around us. Does the acorn struggle to become an oak tree? Does the caterpillar fight against its transformation into a butterfly? You know, my friends, these miracles of nature unfold effortlessly, guided by an innate intelligence that knows exactly what is needed for growth and transformation. And so it is with you. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, knows precisely what you need at every moment of your existence. Your task, then, is not to struggle or strive, but to align yourself with this universal intelligence, to open yourself to receive the abundance that is your birthright. But how, you may ask, do we cultivate this trust in the universe? The answer, my dear friends, lies within you. It is through the power of your imagination, your consciousness, that you can tap into the limitless potential of the universe. Wayne, whose teachings have inspired countless individuals to realize their true potential, often spoke of the power of imagination. He said, "Imagination is the very gateway of reality." And indeed, it is through our imagination that we can bridge the gap between our current circumstances and our deepest desires. When you trust the universe to give you what you need, you are essentially acknowledging that your imagination, your consciousness, is the creative force through which all things come into being. This is not mere positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. No, this is a profound understanding of the nature of reality itself. Consider for a moment your own life experiences. How many times have you worried about a future event, only to find that when the moment arrived, everything unfolded perfectly? How often have you received exactly what you needed, precisely when you needed it, sometimes in ways you could never have anticipated? These are not coincidences, my friends. These are manifestations of the universe responding to your deepest needs and desires. When you trust in this process, when you align your consciousness with the infinite intelligence of the universe, you open yourself to a flow of abundance that knows no bounds. But trust, like any skill, must be cultivated. It requires practice, patience, and above all, a willingness to let go of the illusion of control. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that we must micromanage every aspect of our lives, that we must plan for every contingency and guard against every possible misfortune. But I say to you, this constant state of anxiety and hypervigilance is not only unnecessary, it actually blocks the very blessings you seek. When you are constantly trying to control outcomes, you are essentially telling the universe that you don't trust its wisdom. You are saying, "I know better than the infinite intelligence that created and sustains." Can you see the folly in this thinking? Can you feel the exhaustion that comes from trying to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders? My dear friends, I invite you now to release this burden. Take a deep breath and feel the relief that comes with surrendering to a higher power, a power that knows your needs even before you do. This surrender, this trust is not passive. It's not about sitting idly by and waiting for good things to fall into your lap. No, trusting the universe is an active process, one that requires you to cultivate a state of consciousness aligned with your deepest desires. Wayne taught that the key to manifesting our desires lies in assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. In other words, to trust the universe to give you what you need, you must first feel as though you already have it. This may seem counterintuitive at first, but it is a profound truth that has the power to transform your reality. Let me give you an example. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Instead of focusing on your current lack, instead of worrying about bills or debts, you would assume the feeling of already being financially secure. You would walk, talk, and carry yourself as someone who has all their financial needs met. You would feel the relief, the joy, the freedom that comes with abundance. As you maintain this state of consciousness, as you live from the end, as Wayne would say, you align yourself with the frequency of abundance, and the universe, responding to this alignment, begins to rearrange circumstances in your favor. Opportunities arise, unexpected windfalls occur, solutions present themselves, all because you have tuned yourself to the frequency of abundance. This principle applies to every aspect of your life: relationships, career, health, personal growth. Whatever it is you need, whatever it is you desire, assume the feeling of already having it. Live from that state of fulfillment and watch as the universe conspires to make it your reality. But my dear friends, I must caution you. This is not about trying to control specific outcomes or manipulate events to your liking. True trust in the universe involves surrendering your limited perspective to a higher wisdom. It means being open to receiving what you need, even if it doesn't come in the package you expected. Often, the universe has plans for us that far exceed our own limited imaginings. When you trust the universe to give you what you need, you open yourself to possibilities beyond your current comprehension. You allow miracles to enter your life. Think back to times in your life when things didn't go as you planned, when you faced disappointments or setbacks. In the moment, these experiences may have seemed devastating, but looking back, can you see how they led you to where you are now? Can you recognize the growth, the lessons, the unexpected blessings that came from those challenges? This is the wisdom of the universe at work. It sees the bigger picture, the grand tapestry of your life, in ways that your limited human perspective cannot. When you trust in this wisdom, when you surrender to its guidance, you align yourself with a power that can transform your life in ways you never thought possible. But trust, my friends, is not always easy. In a world that often seems chaotic and unpredictable, it can be tempting to fall back into patterns of fear and control. This is why it's crucial to cultivate practices that reinforce your trust in the universe. One powerful practice is gratitude. When you focus on all the ways the universe has already provided for you, you strengthen your faith in its continued support. Take time each day to acknowledge the blessings in your life, both big and small. Feel the abundance that already surrounds you. This state of appreciation aligns you with the frequency of receiving, opening you to even greater blessings. Another powerful practice is meditation or contemplation. Take time each day to quiet your mind, to step away from the constant chatter of your thoughts, and connect with the deeper wisdom within you. In these moments of stillness, you can tap into the infinite intelligence of the universe, receiving guidance and inspiration that can lead you to your highest good. Meditation is another tool that can help you strengthen your trust in the universe. Spend time each day visualizing your desires as already fulfilled. See yourself living the life you want, feeling the emotions associated with having your needs met. This isn't about forcing outcomes, but about aligning your consciousness with the reality you wish to experience. As you engage in these practices, you may find that your perception of the world begins to shift. You may start to notice synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that seem to guide you towards your goals. You may find that doors open unexpectedly, that the right people and opportunities show up at just the right time. These experiences are not random chance, my friends. They're manifestations of your growing alignment with the universe. They're signs that you are tuning into the frequency of abundance and allowing it to flow into your life. But remember, trusting the universe doesn't mean that challenges will never arise. Life by its very nature involves cycles of growth and change. There will be times when you face obstacles, when your faith is tested. It is in these moments that your trust in the universe becomes most crucial. When you encounter difficulties, instead of seeing them as evidence that the universe has abandoned you, recognize them as opportunities for growth. Ask yourself, what is the situation trying to teach me? How is this challenge preparing me for my next level of growth? By maintaining your trust, even in the face of adversity, you demonstrate your faith in the higher wisdom of the universe. And often it is through these very challenges that the greatest blessings enter your life. Consider the analogy of a gardener planting seeds. The gardener doesn't dig up the seeds every day to check on their progress. Instead, they trust in the natural process of growth. They provide the right conditions, water, sunlight, nutrients, and then allow nature to do its work. Your relationship with the universe is similar. You plant the seeds of your desires through your imagination and your aligned actions. You nurture these seeds through your trust and your positive expectation. And then you allow the universe to bring these desires to fruition in its own time and way. This process requires patience and faith. Just as a seed needs time to germinate and grow before it breaks through the soil, your desires may take time to manifest in your physical reality. But trust that beneath the surface, powerful forces are at work, arranging circumstances in your favor. As you deepen your trust in the universe, you may find that your desires themselves begin to shift. You may discover that what you truly need is not always what you initially thought you wanted. This is the universe's wisdom at work, guiding you towards your highest good. For example, you may think you need a specific job or relationship, only to find that the universe has something even better in store for you. By remaining open and trusting, you allow yourself to receive blessings beyond your current imagination. This trust also frees you from the burden of trying to control every aspect of your life. When you know that the universe is working in your favor, you can relax into the flow of life. You can enjoy the present moment, knowing that your needs are being met and your desires are unfolding in divine timing. This state of trust and allowance is your natural state. It is the state of being that allows miracles to enter your life. When you release resistance and align with the flow of the universe, you become a conduit for infinite possibilities. Imagine for a moment a life lived in complete trust of the universe. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of excitement and anticipation, knowing that wonderful things are unfolding for you. Imagine facing challenges with calm and confidence, knowing that there are opportunities for growth and that the universe is supporting you every step of the way. This, my dear friends, is the life that is available to you when you trust the universe to give you what you need. It is a life of joy, of abundance. It is a life where you are co-creating with the infinite intelligence of the universe, bringing your unique gifts and talents to the world in service of the highest good. But remember, this trust is not something that is given to you. It is a choice you make moment by moment. It is a practice that you cultivate daily. Each time you choose trust over fear, each time you choose faith over doubt, you strengthen your connection to the universe and open yourself to greater blessings. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a powerful exercise. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Feel the air filling your lungs, nourishing every cell of your body. As you exhale, release any doubts or fears you may be holding. Now imagine a bright light at the center of your being. This light represents your connection to the universe, to the source of all creation. See this light growing brighter and brighter, expanding to fill your entire body. Feel the warmth, the love, the infinite wisdom of the universe flowing through you. As this light expands, see it extending beyond your physical body, creating a radiant aura around you. This is your field of infinite possibilities. Within this field, anything is possible. Any need can be met, any desire fulfilled. Now bring to mind something you need or desire. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Feel the emotions associated with having this need met or desire fulfilled. Allow yourself to fully experience the joy, the gratitude, the sense of fulfillment. As you hold this feeling, affirm to yourself, I trust the universe to give me what I need. I'm open to receiving blessings beyond my imagination. All is well, and all my needs are met abundantly. Feel the truth of these words resonating in every cell of your body. Know that as you maintain this state of trust and allowance, the universe is already working to bring your desires into manifestation. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes, carrying this feeling of trust and connection with you. My dear friends, as we conclude our time together, I want to remind you that the universe is not something separate from you. It is the very essence of your being. When you trust the universe, you are trusting in the highest, wisest part of yourself. Go forth from here with the knowledge that you are infinitely supported, infinitely loved. Trust in the wisdom of the universe and watch as miracles unfold in your life. For when you align yourself with the infinite intelligence that creates and sustains all of existence, there is truly no limit to what you can be, do, or have. Remember, the universe is always saying yes to you, is always responding to your dominant thoughts and feelings. So choose thoughts of abundance, of joy, of love. Feel the emotions of having your desires fulfilled, live from the end, as if your needs are already met. As you practice this trust, as you live in alignment with the universe, you become a beacon of light in the world. Your trust, your faith, your joy becomes contagious, inspiring others to open themselves to the abundance of the universe. And so, my dear friends, I challenge you to make trust your default state. When doubts arise, when fears threaten to overwhelm you, return to this truth. The universe knows what you need is always working in your favor. Trust in its wisdom, trust in its timing, trust in its infinite love for you. For when you trust the universe to give you what you need, you open yourself to a life beyond your wildest dreams. Go now and live in this trust. Embrace the adventure of life, knowing that you're always supported, always guided, always loved. The universe is waiting to shower you with blessings. All you need to do is open your arms and receive. Thank you, my dear friends, for your presence, your attention, and your willingness to embrace this profound truth. May your lives be filled with wonder, with joy, and with the miraculous unfolding of your deepest desires. Trust the universe and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. And remember, in the words of Neva Goddard, your assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. So persist in your assumption of trust, of abundance, of love, and watch as these become the facts of your life. You part ways. Carry this message in your heart. You are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness, aligned with the wisdom of the universe, has the power to shape your reality in magnificent ways. Trust in this power. Trust in yourself. Trust in the universe. For in this trust lies the key to a life of true fulfillment, of boundless joy, of infinite possibilities. Go forth and claim this life, my friends. It is your birthright. It is your destiny. It is the gift that the universe is waiting to bestow upon you. Trust, receive, trust, and become. Trust and transform your world. Thank you, and may the infinite wisdom and love of the universe guide you always.